Hey everybody, how's it going? I've been having a pretty good day. Been a little busy. I we had an episode come out today which was a little bit challenging technically, but it went fine once it went out. But hope everybody's doing well. We are gearing up for BGG-Con, which is going to be a lot of fun. I am very excited about seeing some of the Essence stuff. We didn't go this year, so it'll be interesting for us. And I guess all the games arrived today, so that's really great news, because it was a tight squeeze this year. Everybody's not even back 2 weeks yet. It's a week and a half. So it's probably, I think Scott was saying it's the fastest we've gotten stuff. I feel like we got it one time pretty quickly, but you know, we've had other shipping companies or people that we're dealing with. Sometimes we were going to ship them all, well, a lot of them by box, and it was just terribly expensive from UPS or something like that, so we didn't do that. But I'm really glad that they made it. The pallets looked really well wrapped, and everything seemed to come. I mean, because you know it has to go through customs and everything, so it's a pretty amazing feat. Let's see here. This is probably I'm gonna paint this week, today and next Tuesday, and then that's the last streams till we get back, maybe after Thanksgiving. We have plans to film on Tuesday. We return on Monday after the con, and we have plans to film on Tuesday, and I sure hope they go through. But then that's the week of Thanksgiving after that, and then maybe we're going to film again like that weekend or the following week. So it'll really depend. We're trying to, you know, it's let me see what the dates those are. I mean, it's crazy. The month is essentially almost over for us already. Really crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, so we get back, and then Monday is the 1st of December. So one of the things we do is we have been doing the Advent calendar for the last few years, and everybody says they want to be involved. Dave won't be able to make it, which is a real bummer. I think he was here for some of it. I don't remember last year. I think what happened was maybe Nikki and I did the first day or two, and then Mike came and did some with us, and then it was Dave and Deborah. And it's a real bummer. I really feel like I don't know if Dave was there or not. Maybe just at the beginning. Dave was there, I'm pretty sure. But maybe at the beginning. Maybe Aaron will be involved. It's tough. We're going to be filming them in December, which is always not good. I try every year. Now, it's only because folks said they want to be involved, and I wanted them to be involved, and just everybody's busy, so it's okay. But boy, oh boy, is it a lot of stuff. It's weird here. But we've been doing good, and we've been busy. Lots of stuff going on. The other day we played our first Spiel game. We played Formidable Farm, which is a Freedom and Freeza game. We played it on the stream. We'll probably do that as a show. I think. Well, I know Dave would love it, but I think Deborah would really enjoy it, and Rusty, so we might film with them. But we are excited, and it should be a lot of fun. We always have a good time in Dallas. So let me cut to the lower cam. And I did work on the green vines, and the contrast paint turned out pretty nice. I might do a little bit more to it. The only thing I'm not entirely in love with is his face. Now, I probably, well, it wasn't as white as maybe, you know, like undercoat isn't as white as I maybe should have made it. But I also was going for some dark, like he looks very angry in the painting that Big Child Creatives did. And so I was kind of trying to give that look. I mean, very dark, a lot of light only on his face. So maybe I work on that some more. I don't know. It does not look like the same sculpt. But it's also, you know, the paint job does something to that too, that makes it more interesting or whatever. But it turned out great. I mean, I'm really happy. I do need to finish a few things here today, and maybe a little bit more if I really decide to go for it. But let's do the red on the S on his cape. I'm wondering if that's red from my dry brushing. So I did dry brush the a little bit of the red, fluorescent red on there, and it does a pretty great job. This is a Pro Acryl one at brightening things up, and it sort of did a little, you know, it's a very transparent paint, so it did a little bit of cover up on like the weirdness that I had. I mean, this is the first stuff I was painting on it, and I don't really know what the end result was. I feel I had a better time with the green. The green that I used for this is the Mantis Warriors green from Citadel Color, and it's a great color too. This one was one of the new ones that Games Workshop sent me last, wow, probably 3 years ago now. So I'm wondering, it's like they're due for another refresh of some colors. I don't know if they'll do that. You know, they don't necessarily need to do more colors. I would be excited if they did a red. I mean, metallics. I really like the metallics from Army Painter's Speed Paint line, but they're not great. Hey, Sir. Happy Thursday to you too. Wow, music just cut off. So I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear somebody say stuff there. So I don't need it. It's pretty funny. I do not like the intelligence in the Apple stuff. I tend to have, well, lately it's all been doing something, but because we have Google and Amazon and all of that stuff. I don't know what it was responding to there, but maybe I said happy Thursday night, and it was excited about that. So you can imagine what happened there. I do want to do a little bit of highlights on his hair, so we'll see about that too. But yeah, the green looks good. I was contemplating doing like some shading to make it darker, and I don't know that it's necessary. You know, it definitely did what it's supposed to do on the edges. Maybe I do a little bit. Well, I can find out right now. Let's see if I did use this earlier. Yeah, it's getting start to be gel-like. But our friend Brian bought back Friedman's games for us. So we're excited to get those. We usually get those each year. But I guess it was some people had issues. The publishers were more selective without what they were giving out, because a lot of the French publishers are like, we don't know that the game's going to come out in the United States. I'm pretty sure, I would imagine the video people were probably fine, but this was some journalists. We were supposed to have a friend come to visit us, but he was like, I'm not going to travel anymore. So he was going to be, I think he was talking about going to, he was saying BGGCon, but I think he also mentioned PAX, and PAX is at the same time as BGGCon this year, which is unfortunate. I still have not been to PAX Unplugged, but I would like to go. You're sorry you're causing troubles. It's okay. We have many, many things that seem to be the trigger words for that stuff. It's very funny. Did something yesterday here in the studio when we were filming. We had Aaron over. We also saw Rusty last week. It'd been the first time in a little while since we'd seen Rusty, and he was doing pretty good. I got some sort of green here. Oh, you know what that is? I opened one of the greens, an older green I have, that I think is like, you know, it's. I'm sure it doesn't match. Nothing seems to match, but the Goblin green that they used to have, GW used to have, it's made by the same people. It's funny, Sirk, that I would think the old way I pronounced your handle would be the way that would trigger it, but who knows? Yep. Let's see here. So the red, I guess I'll just use the same red, which is this blood red. Is that right? Or bright red? I think it's bright red. And that'll be fine. So we may be going, it's not a good time of the year, but there is an event in Florida we might be going to in the middle of December. And we want to go, but it's terrible timing. So we'll see. Everything's taking, you know, there's just so much disruption with the communications lately. So I really don't need a lot of this. I do probably have a few things to touch up. So I'm just going to do, well, it's already got a second drop there. I'll try to do that. You know, I did not do, which I've said many times you must do, which is make sure the dropper lid is going to, it's not a dropper lid, but the dropper top is going to let the paint come out easily. This one does not seem to be drying inside there, or you know, maybe it didn't leak until I agitated it. But yeah, it's kind of iffy. Oops, see, look at that. I don't know. This looks like blood red to me. But, so yeah, I'm going to try to be done with this. I only have 2 more to do after this one. And maybe a few things to catch up on the other 5. But I would really like to be done and then maybe film this next month. It would be great. Okay. Contrast medium, definitely. I have no problem, Sirk, with the time changes. It does not, other than just the disruption of like, hey, it's dark now all of a sudden. In my head, I don't know what I was thinking, that it was going to be dark in the mornings. Nikki and I go for a walk, but it's when the time goes back, so it's actually plenty bright in the morning, which is good. I was kind of nervous about it. But they don't bother me, which is good. Gosh, see what I mean? Look at this, like the dried paint medium here. I mean, it's paint essentially. I think that's enough. Okay, let's mix it up. It's a pretty great red though. Woof. Maybe I thinned that too much. I only put 1 drop, and it was basically 2 drops of the other color, but maybe just not putting enough on. That looks like it. But look at this, it's doing the same thing again with the stuff getting suspended in it. Not really sure what's happening there. We are excited to go to Dallas because there's a new arcade there that Scott went to a couple weeks back, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, they have so many arcades. We have a great couple places nearby that are a Korean barbecue place. But it's not large, and their collection is, oh, you know what, I messed up. On Monday there was not that I was going to be able to do it. So on Stern has a thing called Insider Connected, and they have achievements on that stuff, you know, so it's like video games, and it was Godzilla Day on Monday, and you needed to play Godzilla, and we don't have one nearby, and so we didn't get to go and do that one. I mean, I don't get it. I missed last month. They had one, just play any machine on like the 4th or something. It was the anniversary of Insider Connected, which is a system that they introduced in 2021. But it's fun. I really love that stuff. But I was just shocked, like none of them. So the one nearby had Godzilla for the longest time, a nice limited edition version of it, but neither of their stores had it, so couldn't do that. I think I need to use the nicer brush. I was on a live stream for the world record breaking event. What was that? Did you guys see, so Scott had a stream before we streamed on Tuesday where he interviewed Reiner Knizia, which was cool. There's also an interview from like about 10 years ago that Eric did that was great. So, you know, they're not the same conversations, so it's pretty cool. Live stream for a world-breaking event. I wonder what it was. So how you doing, Mr. 3D Print Wizard? There's a hair stuck there from when I did the cape. Not coming off. I wonder if my hair was in there for a little bit. Certainly a possibility. It's weird that this is red on red. I mean, I get it. That's the cape, but it definitely doesn't read well. The designer of this game, connected on LinkedIn with me, which I was kind of intrigued by. I mean, I have been painting this stuff for years now. we're not going to have as a crazy of a first of the year, so I may, if I'm lucky, be able to get ahead and just get, I really want to get through all of this stuff well before anything comes from the rest of this, if it does get delivered. I'm very hopeful that it does. But with all the, I don't know. I mean, I as I think I've said before, I think they have to deliver it, which, you know, is good. We don't have to. That means that we don't have to worry about it. But, you know, I don't know how all that stuff works. We did watch on Peacock. We did not. I'm good. Just tired, but I had fun on the stream team for an hour before heading back to work on the photo to the event. Neat. Greetings from UK. We're awaiting our DC United, but your Superman is looking great. Thank you so much. We're sponsoring our buddy Mark Jones, who is an ultra distance runner. Wow, 50 miles and 12 hours in 24-hour 100-mile ruck. Okay. So yeah, I don't. This is not DC United. I mean, this is DC Superheroes United, but this is the Batman Hush, which is a not connected part of the Kickstarter, and I'm sure it's probably coming to you. I don't know if it's Spin Master in the UK. It probably is, I would imagine. They're a Canadian company. But I just bought it from Amazon. This was, it's just Dino saying about they're waiting for it. I really would like to, I hope the whole thing comes soon. It does say delivers 20, you know, they're saying that it's, well, I'll say it. It's been sitting for a while in the making the molds and stuff phase, and that's worrisome. Like, they should have already been there. I believe they were supposed to start delivering around now. So I don't know. I'm hoping. I really would like it. I put a lot of money into it. And I would like to get them, you know. It's out later this month. Okay, that's cool. It's worth getting. I really, we'll probably do it on the show, because we've done the live stream of this stuff, but we only ever did the first one. And I really wanted to do the Deadpool one and the Spider, was it the Deadpool one? I don't think that's the one, but I wanted to do the Spider-Geddon one. And I painted, I believe, all of those minis now. But then it just got to be so long. We had other things to film. And so this one ought to be good. Well, you know, it's a full-on new different game, essentially. I mean, not new different. Full-on new IP. And it does have some new stuff. I mean, it's the fourth go at this system. So I'm sure there's some differences. Now, Eric is not credited on this, Eric Lang. I'm not really certain about what that's about. I mean, he's not working for them anymore. Nobody's working for them anymore as far as designers go. I'm not even sure what Andrea's doing. Probably just finishing up this game with them, because, you know, it's got to get, well, I hope it gets out there. I'm glad you're getting it, though. I'm excited to get my gaming group together. Oh, wow, $400 with a HeroScape. Nice. I keep contemplating buying some of the stuff now that it's all back again. Or is it back again? Is that coming out from, it is, right? It's from Renegade. I have none of it, and I had some friends that were really into it. You know, the collector aspect of it is always super exciting. And I don't remember exactly what all that was, because I remember going with Dave to buy expansions for our friend, like when we were going out past a Toys R Us when we used to have those. Yeah, Dino, I have so much to paint. I mean, so much to paint. Yeah, it's back from Renegade. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I have so many. So, you know, I've been painting 3 of every model since a year and a half ago, maybe more. I mean, it's been a long time, and I should get done. I got to get done with the first phase because I want everybody to get it. You know, I mean, I'm mostly done, but I got all these other sets after I was already started on those. And so I painted some of the other sets. I don't know if they ever bought, because, you know, we're still waiting like on the Witching Hour one. I bought that from Amazon as well. And that's a little frustrating too, you know, like it shipped to Amazon a long time ago. And it's supposedly on its way here, and I paid some tariffs, which are tiny. I'm not really sure how that all works. Because, you know, we've had other situations where we paid pretty kind of substantial amount of money for a game that, I think we paid $20 for a game that, now, it's not the publisher, and it's not, what it is it's, I think that in that case it was DHL charged us a considerable amount of money. $20 for a game that probably cost 30, maybe. And I think that's the fees, not the actual tariff. So it's very confusing, and it feels like it's just helping these other companies make more money. Now, you know, they have to do some work to make it happen, so I get it, but it still feels like a lot. I keep breaking away and painting. Yeah, I have the same problem. Shipping container costs, yes. I was talking with a publisher today about a U.S. releases, and I guess they were like close to doing it. I mean, they've done it, they printed them, but they're not here, they're not coming yet. And so that's unfortunate. So, you know, we definitely, well, I say this, but it doesn't always mean that it's the way it works out, but we try not to do stuff super far away from its availability. Now, we did do Journeys Afar, which isn't going to be available till next year. But Travis is a friend, and Nikki and I were both excited about the game. Aaron really enjoyed it, and so we did that one. We did, I mean, another CMON game of Travis's. We did Cthulhu Dark Providence, Cthulhu Death May Die Dark Providence, which is not, it's just in the same universes as Death May Die, which is now sold to Asmodee. And, you know, we don't charge for those because we don't charge for any of the Game Night. Only if we do like a live stream one, where we don't put as much effort into producing it. But they were supposed to give us a copy of the game, and we know the US guy for CMON that's there now. I mean, they've had so many people that they've let go and stuff. And he said he'd try to get us one, because we would like to play it again. That's the problem with all these when you play them like this. Gotta wait, and it's been 2 years since we did Dark Providence with Deborah and Travis. And that's a long time. And that was a pre-order. It wasn't, I mean, not that Kickstarter isn't a pre-order, but it was not a Kickstarter. And now they do their stuff on, CMON does their stuff on GameFound. So, let's hope we get it all. Second edition of Ice. I do have a Kickstarter that I backed after we played the game. So we played it. It had been released, and I think we borrowed the BGG copy, one of the BGG copies from the library for Fromage, and they did that Fromaggio. And I backed the new standalone game, but it's you can play it. You can combine them, but it's a standalone expansion, I guess what they call those. And I backed the original game as well because we really liked it. But I don't back a lot of games anymore, and I never was that crazy. I mean, I have, oh my gosh, Fromaggio is great. Oh, Fromage is great. I don't know about Fromaggio, but I mean, it's the same system, and it's probably going to be wonderful. It's very quick, and I will say, though, it feels like it needs to be played on a square table because of the rotation orientation. Now, we played 3 when we did it on the show. We should have done 4, but we just couldn't. You know, it was tough. I think we did that at the beginning of this year, so it's kind of exciting that the Kickstarter is coming so soon, because I think it was due December or January, really. But I got a notification that it's, you know, you get those notifications that it's coming, but this one said it was, I don't know, I think delivering at the end of the month, hopefully when we're back. I was just thinking about our neighbors, you know, helping us. We all like try to collect stuff for each other when we're away, and I was just thinking about going to visit them and giving them Christmas cookies. And now I've talked to them many times, but Christmas cookies was almost a year ago. I cannot believe it, how quickly this year has flown. I just printed inserts for your copy of Fromage. Awesome. I like the trays that they do, but I don't like the cards. They're in 2 separate trays. I don't know if we mentioned that in the video that we did, but you know, you have those cards and they really should be in one pile, but that is the one challenge, I think, of the game for me, is getting cards that are good for you. Let that dry. It's getting close. And that you can do. You know, you kind of need to get the cards early and then work towards them, because you only have so many turns you're going to take and so many opportunities to do those things in each of the zones. So you definitely want to, I don't know, it's great though, as long as you can, you know, because what a lot of the cards are basically orders for types of cheese, and in each area there's only so many area that you can fill. Even we played 3, so there were some blocked off, but even with 4, you know, there's 4 people then vying for those same spaces. So it's one of those deals where getting the cards doesn't hurt you. It is a resource, so it counts for some points at the end. Probably not, it's probably like 1 point for every 2 or something like that. The reason why time tends to feel like it moves faster as we age, because we have less new experiences, so the mind goes into low power mode. I don't doubt it. Although I don't feel like I have I'm short on experiences, that's for sure, but we didn't travel as much this year. So that could be one thing that made it kind of move quickly. Although I got to tell you, I mean, it was good because we just didn't have so much stuff that we had to work on. That's one of the challenges. I mean, we had a lot to work on. So we are losing, Candace has left the company, and we had stuff that she was working on, so we've been picking up those pieces. And, you know, she wasn't trying to leave quickly necessarily. She was going to help us out, but the problem was, you know, she had already booked events like Essen and our BGG cruise that left out of California. And so she was going to do those, and I don't blame her. So it was like she wasn't really going to be around for the whole thing anyway. So she did help us out a little bit, and we got something done, which was really helpful. And really, she did a great job. But it was nice of her to do that. But there's just so much to do. We actually are doing quite a few videos. Compare being a child with experiences, so new things to see and learn, and adult things just feel the same. New towns look like every other town. That's kind of true nowadays, especially. Eat the same foods. There's truth to that too. We definitely have our kind of favorites. My mom, so we took her to the airport last weekend. We had she was leaving on Saturday, and Nikki and I do long walks on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so we get up early for that. And so we got up early Friday, pretty darned early for us anyway, 6:30. And then we got up at 5:45 the next morning to take my mom to the airport. And they messed it up. So she is elderly, and she needs wheelchair assistance. And they didn't get her to her gate on time. It was a mess. I mean, and I can't take her to the gate. They don't allow you to go through anymore. I mean, it's been 24 years. But, so she's like, they're taking me to the gate, so we're like, okay, good. And, you know, she had time as far as when the flight was taking off. And so we had already gone to get something to eat. I'm like, we'll be in the immediate area, Mom. If you need us, we're going to stick around. And then when she's like, I'm going to the gate, we're like, okay, well, we'll see you. Have a great trip. And so we texting, you know. And so we go home. And it's not close to get to LAX. And so we literally get one, maybe two exits from our house. And she messages she didn't make the flight. And, you know, she's like worried that they're going to give her the credit. And they told her within 9 minutes she'd have the email that tells her the next day's flight. And she's stressed, and I'm like, Mom, you paid for those tickets. They left without you knowing that you checked in, so it's all on them, and you'll be fine. And so, yeah, the next day we got up a little earlier. There was other issues. The airport's undergoing a lot of construction, and clearly American Airlines didn't know, and they told her to go to a terminal that is closed. And I was like, is it open? You know, I've heard that's closing. I guess maybe it's not closed yet. And then, of course, it was closed. So we had to go in the loop again to go get her to the gate. And so the next day we go, and we're a little bit earlier. We know not to go to Terminal 5. And I go to talk to the guys, you know, at the thing. I said, look, what gate is she at? You know, because he scanned her in. She's like, well, she's at 52. I'm like, that's a remote gate, right? And he's like, yeah. I said, okay, well, make sure she gets there on time. You guys were supposed to take her there yesterday, and she waited an hour here for you to take her, which was a long time. And, you know, security, and then they have to take you on a bus to get you over to that, and you're on the tarmac. It's insane. And so she needs to be there on time. He's like, okay, you know. And they had more organization. It was the day after Halloween, and I think they were short. Like, it's pretty terrible. You have a huge event tomorrow. 900 plus people for our awards gala, and we heard nothing but troubles in Flightland. Yes, where are you guys at? Where's the event at, Mr. 3D Print Wizard? I watch the same shows and movies. We try to watch new things. That's our big frustration lately, is there's not as many things that we're interested in seeing. and shows that we like, or mostly like nowadays shorter runs. So, which is that's kind of cool. At least it means that they don't usually get too terrible. Hyatt Regency O'Hare. Oh, okay. Wow. Goodness gracious. What is the event? We didn't stay at the Regency. We stayed at another Hyatt. That's actually a new hotel, or maybe a remodeled hotel, but it was very nice when we were at O'Hare this summer, the last night, and that was cool. I would like to go back to Chicago. We did not, we both. So we went there on our honeymoon. That's not. We started on our trip in Chicago. We did a big loop, and went into Canada and did a bunch of stuff too, into New York and things like that, Pennsylvania, and. But we didn't spend that much time in Chicago the previous time. And this time we spent more time, but we still didn't see all the things I'd like to see. So I want to go back. But we did have a great time actually though, because we did the architecture, one of the architectural river tours, which is very cool. And we were super lucky it wasn't blazing hot. And it didn't rain while we were on it. I mean, there might have been some sprinkling near the end. And then we get out, we go to have pizza at one of the pizza places we went to 20 years ago, and we go inside and it starts pouring, and then we leave. It's over. It was like, wow, okay, so we really lucked out. I work with a nonprofit that works with disabled veterans like Oscar Mike, and this is the yearly Oscar Mike Ball. Neat. That's cool. Yeah, so we're going to the Hyatt Regency in Dallas. It's the Hyatt Regency. What is that called? The Reunion Tower. So it's the Hyatt Regency Reunion. That's where BGDCon is. There's also one at the airport. We do the spring one at the airport. That's where we used to do this one. It's funny, we've been quite a few times now. I think we went in 2019, didn't do 2020. I'm pretty sure we did 2021. So it's 19, 2021, 2, 3, 4, and this is the sixth one. Sixth one at that hotel. I don't feel like I remember that being the case, but it's a great hotel, and there's good restaurants around there, but it's sort of better at the airport. It's weird. We are in the airport when we do that event, so you have to leave, and there's parking passes and all that stuff you have to deal with, but there's a ton of great places right around there, and there are amazing great places downtown, but they're a little bit of ways, and parking's an issue and things like that. And we sort of kind of don't, we'll go, there's a few things we do in downtown, but there's a few things we go a little bit further out of downtown. I mean, it's still part of downtown, but it's a little bit different area. And so sometimes there's parking and things like that. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just bummed because there's a lot of people aren't going to be there. Dave's not going to make it this year. Aaron's not going this year. Amanda's going to be at, we got a tiny bit of time with Amanda at BGG Spring, which is her first BGG Con. And she's going to PAX, so she had already had plans to do PAX in advance. And so, PAX Unplugged. So she's not going to be there. I think the Sutherlands are going to be there, some friends of ours from Ohio. They were saying that they might not be there, but no, I think they're going to be there. And then, of course, we get to hang out with Scott and Michelle. I know there's others that aren't coming, and it's kind of a bummer. It's still going to be a big con, and Rusty's not going. He was there last year. So yeah, it's not quite the same. Although Nick and Mike are going to be there, which will be great. We should actually book something with them because they are very busy. Friend of Scott's, that is a friend of theirs now. Longtime friend of Scott's, like college friend. He started coming, which is great. He's a really nice guy. And so they hang out with him and we hang out with him. It's like kind of a big mix-up. I'm not sure that Jamie and Jeff are coming from, I kind of doubt they are, from Foster the Meeple. They have a gaming cafe or something like that now that I think that Jamie's doing. Nick told us that just recently. So that's exciting. I would like them to tell us about it, but next time maybe. It's never fun when you can't be with the humans you want to hang around. There's a ton of people at the con. It's super fun, but it's nice just to get the opportunity, because even, you know, one of the funny things about going to these cons is we end up hanging out with our friends that we know, but we don't see them all the time, and so it's a great opportunity to play games. And we're not going to do as many cons next year. We will probably do Gen Con and Spiel, maybe just Spiel, we'll see. And then BGG Spring is all I know of, right? It's really not a lot, and it's fine with me. We don't need to. The travel's tough, you know what I mean? It's definitely work. So let's do Robin. I'd already started his face. Looks okay. But yeah, it's weird, and it's fun to, you know, it's fun to see people for sure. I like it. Is he like on the Chrysler building or something? That's pretty awesome. You know what? I did not notice that's a mold line. Nice job, Lincoln. Fox People's making cozy gaming place. They talked about it on their channel once, and it's a little more in their Discord. Nice. Yeah. Nick's really. They're both. Nick and Mike are good friends with him, but Nick goes and visits them a lot, and has gone on vacations with them, which is awesome. So yeah, I would like to see them if we could too, but they moved their studio. I don't know if that means they moved. There's a bunch of things that were going on with them. So Jamie does a video for us every month, and some issues happened. So she missed last month. So hopefully everything's okay. I mean, she did do this month's, which was There and Back Again, I think, which is one of the ones we want to do for the show as well. So let's see if we have Robin painted here. That's Superman. They did the villains mostly. Oh, they didn't do the Joker. So that was weird. Punchline. I don't think Punchline's in here. Interesting, that's a henchman. Okay. Wow. I don't see Robin here. Ugh. Maybe I didn't go high up enough. There he is in mini form. Yeah, doesn't look like they painted that one. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm really a little concerned that we might not get that painting book, because that company is gone right now. I mean, they're coming back, I guess. Was Winged Serpent? It's a company. Oh, you're talking about Quetzalcoatl? Hey, yeah, Daryl says that. Quetzalcoatl's awesome. It's terrible, but awesome. My gosh, I have. So Nikki was. I was watching that on cable recently. You know, last year or something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get this because I hadn't seen it since I was young. Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. It's on Shudder. Okay. So I have to look at the painting. His cape looks like it's black on top and yellow underneath. I wonder if that's right. Oh, it's on YouTube for free. But yeah, Nikki was having a good time listening to me going on about it. So he's got red shorts, red bodysuit, short bodysuit, and then green tights. So let's go in and do his tongue or whatever the heck we can see inside there. His eyes are white with a black outline. Again, I don't have the real deal. They only charged like $100 to use the roof. I didn't know they actually used. I mean, I know that there's like some stuff up inside the building. Who did that movie? Was it like American International or something like that? But yeah, I saw that when I was young. Larry Cohen, okay. So we still have cable, but we're getting rid of it. So we are, I mean, I basically should get it going on, but we may keep it through Christmas, I don't know. But it's so expensive, and we don't get really great, we have a lot of channels, but not a lot of great stuff on. And so what we'll probably do is just, you know, they give us access to their streaming services, but it's not worth it in my opinion. Especially considering how much they're charging us. It's really ridiculous, and it's just gone up over and over again, and I'm just like, we can't do that. As I was saying earlier, most of the shows we like are just short runs. Good gosh, I'm making a mess here. Let me just clean that one up. And redo it again. Might have been longer than last year for when I watched Quetzalcoatl, now I think about it. I don't remember what channel it was on. But I enjoyed it. It had been a very long time since I'd seen it. It's been more than a year because I'm having a hard time remembering the story. And Nikki had no idea what it was. It was one of those deals that I even remember seeing it in the paper. So I used to, back in the day when papers were kind of a thing, I really scoured the what they called in the LA Times here, the calendar, and went to the movies all the time. I basically went once a week for most of the year. And And I was into everything, you know. I mean, I'm not a horror guy. I've never been much of a horror guy. But I saw so many like European and foreign films and Japanese films, and I used to go to the art house theaters, and it was crazy. I went to see. I convinced my parents to take me, and I was pretty darned young. Now, they were not concerned about that kind of stuff. I saw some questionable things when I was young that they took me to theaters to see. But went to see, I wanted to see Diva, movie by Jean, good gosh. God, I don't remember what it was. Weapons, I've heard, very good. Somebody's told me last week I should check it out. Christoph went when he was in town. But, so I went to go see, got him to take, and it was art house, right? Because it did not have a wide release here in the United States. And I really love that movie. But the first movie that played was, oh my gosh, I gotta look it up. You'd think I'd have it like seared into my brain. It was a Paul Verhoeven movie that was actually Spetters. That's the name of it. And it was rough. It was Paul Verhoeven, right? But like really rough. And I had to convince my parents, like, the next movie's supposed to be great. Let's just wait. And and we did, and it was great. You know, it was a really interesting, very cool film. But man, Oshevitz, was it rough. Jean-Jacques Benet, yeah. It was great, really great. And he did another movie I liked, Blue or something like that, a couple years later. But man, I mean, I wasn't certain I would want to see Paul Verhoeven movies after that, and he started doing U.S. movies, you know. But there's nothing like, you know, gangs raping a guy sitting next to your mom. I don't think that she remembers that anymore, but I think we went to see it in Long Beach. Every night they play a different, okay, there's a theater in Janesville, Wisconsin that is independent, and they showed the original Halloween on Halloween, and it was amazing to see it on the big screen for the first time. Every week they play a different, every weeknight they play a different movie, and $5 each. That's awesome. And that's kind of like what these were. We still have, there might be more, but the one that I know of is the New Art, which plays new releases and revival stuff. Like, I went to go see the original director's cut of Blade Runner, which was really just a work print. But it was amazing. Like, you know, this was early 90s, I think, maybe late 80s. I think it was early 90s. Because then they put out the director's cut, which was not really the director's cut. And, you know, he said basically the one was fine, but then he did the final cut, which is great too. But yeah, it was crazy. Hey, Bishop Aries. But yeah, it's been a long time. You know, I mean, we don't go to the movies nearly as much. As a matter of fact, we went with Daryl to see Tron Ares, which was cool. You know, not great, but cool. I mean, I like those movies, and I really enjoyed Tron. It's not a great movie. but it's awesome, right? It's one of those types of movies. And this was the same thing. It was really beautiful, everything, but he was pretty good in it. It just wasn't like, I don't know. It was kind of sad to see Gillian Anderson and her character to be, you know, I don't know. That was a bummer. But it's still, it was still great to see it. It was fun to go see it with them. I was a little worried. We were with his daughter, and you know, she's way into all kinds of stuff, which is pretty awesome. But I was just like, oh, is she not into this? She was on her phone a bit, but of course, you know, she's a kid, so she probably just is on her phone often. But I think she had a good time. And then I think the last thing we saw before that was with Scott and Michelle, and they're they have a couple times a month maybe. They go to like the event things. I mean, it's during the summer mostly probably. They went to go see Fantastic Four, which was cool. I wanted to see it. It just wasn't 3D. I would like to have seen it in 3D. But we just don't go as much as we used to. We love to go to the Chinese. I was telling Daryl's daughter about it. So we ended to try to find something to go down there and to go see it. I think she'd enjoy it. I mean, I know Daryl would enjoy it. He might have been there, but she's never been there. But that's my favorite place to see movies. It's really great. And it didn't used to be. I mean, it was always a great theater. There's like two very early movie memories with my family. And one of them was there. Seeing a Bond movie back a long time ago. And then, and I don't think we lived here yet. I think we were still in Colorado. And then, also another theater in Colorado that was just massive to me. And then another one, another theater in Colorado that was great. That was I don't know, it was called Century 21, I think. And that is a chain, I believe, but I don't know what this one was a chain anyway. But I saw movies there, and I saw movies there later when we'd go back to visit. We went to go see, I think, The Black Cauldron in like 80 something, you know, when we were pretty youngish. And with my cousins, which is funny, you know, like not many people went to go see Black Cauldron. The best 3D movie was Friday the 13th 3. Okay. But yeah, I read so many things about movies and was going. I remember when I was really young, seeing in the calendar a thing about this movie called Star Wars, and we did not see that one like the first week. I mean, my parents took us to stuff that all the time, But we did go to the theater that was like one of my formative ones here in California, called the Avco Westwood, I guess it was. And it was a 2-theater place that was great. When they split it into 3, it was a mess. But I remember seeing, like, I had no idea what it was, and seeing a picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And, I thought he was some sort of witch or something. I didn't know it was a guy. I had no idea, it was like, no idea what it was. We would go see stuff there in Westwood a lot. It used to be great there. They're one of my favorite theaters. Another really cool one that was like from the 70s was the National. And you could see the National before they tore it down. I think it's finally been built, something was built in there, but they tore it down and it was a long time before they built it. But it's in the, in Zodiac. It's supposed to be, and I think the theater was closed at that point already. It's supposed to be some theater in San Francisco, but it was fantastic. And I remember going to see Raiders of the Lost Ark there. So for a guy that was like paying attention to movies, I had no idea about Indiana Jones and Raiders. And we're going in the theater, and you go in the lobby, it's downstairs, and then you go up stairs and then down into the theater. So the theater's a big seating arrangement, and it seemed pretty big. Like when you saw the hole in the ground, it didn't seem very big, but the lobby upstairs was like over the side, sort of over the sidewalk or something. So I may enjoy horror movies a bit, but yeah, I would like to see 3D movies resurgence in the 80s because of Friday the 13th Part 3. There was also Jaws 3. But there was, I don't know if I saw any back then. And I was not a huge, so we went to go see Avatar in 3D when it came out. And it was a disappointment, right? It did not look good. And I think we saw it in IMAX. I know we did. But I did see animated films at that time, so, 16 years ago or whatever, 15 years ago. And I was like, oh, well, these look good. So in my mind was like, oh, they need to, of course, it's real 3D, but it's not shot, it's just rendered in 3D, right? They do the dimensional information, all that stuff. But then I saw Avatar on my just TV in HD. I'm like, oh, this looks better. And then I got the 3D Blu-ray, and we have a 3D TV and a 3D projector. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Let us get, good gosh, this is the same thing on this bottle every time. It lifts up this lid. I do not know what is going on. There must be some sort of kink on the hinge every time. I'm like, did I close? And now I know. I'm paying attention to it, and I'm checking it every time I'm out here. It just closes. It pops open every time. But yeah, we went to go see Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and as we're going up the stairs, I look over and it's like, produced by George Lucas, directed by Steven Spielberg. Oh my gosh, what? And so that was a great, super fun surprise experience from back in the day. That was really fun, and I really enjoyed it, of course. And it was like the spookiest thing. So we go to see it. I think that was a June release, maybe May as well, because we saw it pretty quickly. My dad, he was into movies too, but I was definitely crazy about them. Although that was a little early, before my, because I wasn't going till, I mean, it was a lot early. I wasn't going to movies all the time until a little later. So I'm excused for Raiders, but I still was reading the calendars, so I don't know what the deal was. Because we went to go see Scarred Nikki, my brother and I. That's funny. I think it was Nikki. Went to go see American Werewolf, and that's the only movie well, no, that's not true. I've walked out of 2 movies, and it's not like it's a terrible movie. I've watched it again since then. But Chris and my brother and I went to the arcade in the bowling alley. We're like, okay, we'll be out there. And my dad was like, it got less crazy after that, sort of, But I also saw Blade Runner at that theater, and and I was pretty young for that one too. Okay, now what green do I use on this? Do I use the same green as this one? No. This needs to be more of a jade green or a Kelly green. I don't know if they've got that green here. There are a lot of greens. I don't think that's the green. Maybe Warp Lightning? I believe, now that I think about it, was Rutger Hauer and Spedders? I believe so. Good God, that was 1980? I could not have seen it in 1980. I don't see... Oh, there he is, Rutger Hauer. Urine Crab. Wow. Crabbe or whatever. Wow, I don't really remember it. I saw it once. So, 40-something years ago. I was too young for that movie. It says a scandalous masterwork from Paul Verhoeven. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. You know what? I don't know that that's the color either. That's too dark. It needs to be greener. Like yellower. Let's see what else. Do not put that there. Hex-ray flame. Nope. That's really kind of a shade, I think. Maybe striking scorpion green. It's a little too yellow. Carandaras green. That's probably the one. So if I start it off and I use a little more of the contrast medium, it might be right. Does it have an agitator in it? I wonder if I've opened... Yeah, I've opened this one. So I buy a lot of 3D Blu-rays, or I ask for them for Christmas or my birthday or something like that. But I bought one So there's a 3D Archives that's restoring those kinds of things, and there's a John Wayne one I wish that they'd find the elements for. I'd like to see that one. I mean, sure, it's not great, but still I'd like to see it. But I did get The Man Who Wasn't There, I think, which is, you know, there was a Coen Brothers movie that starred Steve Guttenberg, and Steve Guttenberg, oh my gosh, what's his name? He got people got mad at him from, he was in Arrested Development. I know his name. Mad at him for how he treated Jessica, good gosh, what's her name now? Jessica Walters. So, what is his name, if I can remember hers? Jeffrey, I don't remember it. And it did not look good. Again, I liked half of them. I mean, I have a lot of 3D movies. YouTube chat's quiet. It's not that bad. I mean, considering it's usually better when it's game night. I'm definitely not as exciting. But it really depends. It's also, you know, not the most exciting stuff I'm doing here. I do want to get done with it, though. I would really like to be done with these. I guess it's yellow and black on the cape. I can do that afterwards. I can do his body armor is green, I guess, too. I mean, it's shoulder pads and gloves, right? Gauntlets or whatever. So, I will mix the color here. This is the remainder of the last green. That actually doesn't look too bad, but I don't think I want to. Oops, I'm putting it in the non-trash can over here. Have you ever ventured into Vinegar Syndrome? I know there are movies. I love the name of that company too, because, you know, Vinegar Syndrome is the what they say, what happens when movies start to decay that are on celluloid, because it's basically vinegar, the smell. So I love that they're restoring. I probably have like 1 or 2 discs from Vinegar Syndrome, but they're mostly like, you know, horror that I'm just not into. I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering if it was basically, my brothers and my experience with American Werewolf that kind of like cured me from being interested in that stuff. I mean, I've watched, you know, I like Alien. I saw Alien in the theater. I did not leave when that one came out, and that was 1979. And I was young. But, you know, that's a thriller, right? I don't feel that that's a horror movie. But yeah, I love those. I mean, thank goodness for those labels. I mean, everybody was freaking out thinking that Shout was quitting, but I think they just have some new investment in it. Yeah, American Werewolf is really good. I like it now. 1979, I was 3. I was older than that, but not a ton. Let's just see if this is right. Yeah, it's going to be a good color. Thinking I don't want to paint with this brush. I really should get another one of these going here. I have a bunch of these brushes, but they're starting to hook. But the real downer is, you know, in reference to the real situation, Vinegar Syndrome stuff, is, you know, they kind of need to archive this stuff quickly. And I'm not sure if they're doing new, you know, because lots of stuff has been lost already. Plus they had the massive fire at Universal Archives a long while back that was just terrible. And so lots of stuff is just gone. Or, you know, they're looking for a print that was out there somewhere that can bring it back. But I love that they're still doing 3D stuff occasionally. But the real issue is any of the major studio stuff is hard to get. Mostly now, for a long time, not a long time, because it really only was about 5 or 6 years here in the United States. They would still occasionally do them. They did Avatar and gosh, what was that one? Well, they did the first Dune, but they did not, I don't think they made the second Dune in 3D, which is just weird. They put out, you know, so Warner's would do them occasionally. And then obviously Fox. But now, and then, so for a while there, you could still get them in English from the UK. And now, for anything like the Disney related ones, so Marvel, Star Wars, I have to order them from Japan. And occasionally they might come out later in a disc, but not really. So I'm spending, you know, $80, which isn't really terrible, because for when you buy the $80 version from Japan, you get the Blu-ray, the 3D Blu-ray, and the 4K Blu-ray. So you got all the stuff, which is nice. Because, you know, you have to, the only downer is you can't wait around till the prices drop, because they are limited production. And so, because like if I wait, I can buy the 4K Blu-ray for, you know, $15, you know, on any new release pretty much. They drop in price generally not too terribly long. And so, and of course now with the tariffs and stuff, it's a little challenging. I did get the Thunderbolts from Japan. So I've been buying most of the Marvel stuff over the years. And the real terrible thing is now they don't put the subtitle. They don't do the forced subtitles anymore, mostly on those Japanese ones. So Brian is trying to figure something out, because I got him into it. He came over and I showed him our TV, and so then and it was a good 6 months after we got the TV, and I got it at the end of the model year. And he actually found one at a Best Buy someplace, just in the box, that was kind of like not in the inventory. So he was able to, he had to pay the full price. They weren't like discounting it in any way, shape, or form, but he was able to get it. And he has the exact same TV, so it's cool. It's cool. His wife, we were there last weekend, and his wife's like, do they make 3D TVs anymore? I'm like, nope. They do sell 3D monitors, and they do sell 3D projectors. They don't. They bought the same projector I have. It was a Kickstarter, and it does 3D, but they had not done those in 3D. But he goes and sees stuff. Oh, so I was saying, but he goes and sees stuff in the theater 3D more than I do, and I used to see stuff a lot. But you know, we'll go to the theater nearby that actually does show. Like they did have Tron in 3D. We did not go see it. It was the one that Daryl was going to was not a 3D presentation. That's fine. We didn't see Fantastic Four in 3D either. And it probably was in 3D at that theater. That was in Texas. But the other place you can buy discs, well, there are other places that you can buy discs, but it was, oh, did I paint flesh on it? I did paint flesh tone on his arms. I mean, I get stuff on eBay. That's actually where I buy everything nowadays. Because I used to be able to buy directly from Amazon, and you can, I believe, still, and they'll ship it to you, but it's just terribly expensive, and then I mean, everything has been really expensive. But the other place you can buy DVDs, 3D Blu-rays, is Germany. There's a company called Turbine, and they do, they've been doing mostly like DreamWorks Paramount stuff, but the exciting thing was like Brian was trying to find Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, because I think he saw it in 3D. I'm like, nobody's doing it, and then I follow stuff on eBay, a couple sellers, and they said it was available. I'm like, hey, look at this. So I ordered it. Another one that Brian wanted was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that came out a few years back that Seth Rogen produced, Mutant Madness. And that came out from that company, and I had ordered one of those from, I had Christoph bring it to me, I think at BGG Spring, or maybe it was, actually I think it was Gen Con. So they're doing stuff, you know, and it's not totally limited run, but it's hard to get. Like, I've looked at getting it from Amazon Germany. I think Brian was going to Germany, and so he had some stuff shipped to his hotel room, which was awesome. But new director for Gremlins 3 announced. It's Christopher Columbus, right? Yeah, I wish it was Joe Dante. I actually really liked the second one. I don't think everybody did, but we enjoyed that one. I like Joe Dante though, but he hasn't really been doing much. Because The Burbs is one of my favorite movies. Not many people love that one either. I didn't love that. I didn't. You know, I didn't dig Burbs at first. I went to see it in the theater, and I was a huge Tom Hanks fan, and went to the theater, and I was just like, man, this is terrible. And then this is when I was in college, and very beginning, and I worked at a video store. And my friend, who was the IT guy for the company, it was, they had a bunch of stores. He, because it was music and video, and he was asking about it. I'm like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, and I'm telling the stories, and I'm laughing, and so then I ended up, then rented it a bunch while I worked there, and then I think I rented the Laserdisc. I was the Laserdisc guy, and like took all my money that I made and bought a nice enough TV and a Laserdisc player. And then I bought the Laserdisc. So I rented it so many times. I'm like, I probably should just buy this. And now it's like one of my favorite movies. I really like Joe Dante. I really like. Well, I might as well save it for Mr. Print Wizard. Chris did write the original. I don't think he wrote the second one, but I just don't think he's. I'm with Mr. 3D Print Wizard. I don't think Christopher Columbus is that great, but I will say, even though they're, he did a really amazing job on the first two Harry Potters, even though I don't think they're great, but the cast was amazing. And, he's part of that, so. But yeah, I was actually a little shocked to see that he was directing Gremlins 3. I'm actually shocked they're doing it, so I won't be, I'll reserve judgment, but like, he also did that Percy Jackson movies, trying to like redo the success basically of Harry Potter kind of. And those were not, I think I saw one of them. Pretty sure I did and didn't care for it. Gremlins. That second one was really funny. Clamp. The Clamp Tower. The one guy that was the in Gremlins, I mean, like, he's been doing all kinds of stuff about Gremlins, so I wonder if he's going to be involved. He probably is. I can't imagine they wouldn't have him. Are his boots green too? No, they're black. I will assume anyway that they're black. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't. So I went to go see. I had a girlfriend take me to go see Home Alone, and I was like, oh my God, I did not care for it. There are things about it. I mean, I've seen it since then. I love John Candy, even though I know he's not a very big part in it. But I'm trying to think of other ones that he did, because I did not care. We went to go see, as a matter of fact, I think I went to go see it with you, Daryl, the first Harry Potter, and I was just not impressed. And then his belt is yellow. Batman 66, they're green. Interesting. So maybe they are green. Maybe it's just a shadow. Let's just do, well, let me look at some other pictures. This is the only picture I have, which is an illustration. And this is the Tim Drake one. It's not, I don't know, man. This is terrible. I really wish they would, what are they going to do? Companies just hanging in there trying to fulfill this stuff. Which green did I use on this? I used it's kind of reacting like the Army Painter speed paints, but this is one of the Citadel ones. Very strange. Yeah, this says it's, what did I say it was, Tim? It doesn't really matter. Tim Drake. But wasn't it Dick Grayson? Was the one, but Tim idolized Batman Robin since he's young. He uncovered their real identities when he saw Robin perform a rare maneuver that only a flying Grayson could pull off. So there you go. Tim was in to train. Batman took Tim in to train him as the new Robin. However, tragedy struck. He lost his mother and his father and was placed in a comatose state after his training. Instead of acting out of revenge, Tim's resolve only grew stronger and he became more driven to do what was right. Dick Grayson. Let's look at stuff. I mean, I don't think they're really boots. You're correct. They look like Peter Pan boots. Looks like he's wearing black boots here. He's got a slingshot there. Here it looks like he has black boots with like green bits at the end there. It's another one where he's red suited. Let's go to images. He definitely has black boots, but with like green trim. Like green soles. Should I try to do that? I mean, they're pretty techie boots, which is pretty awesome. I could try to do that. Might as well paint it now. They won't look as cool. I mean, you know, I have no problem reinterpreting these things. I definitely did Gamora differently than they had her painted. I mean, I mostly followed it, but I was like, I want her hair to look different. And I did her skin a little bit. Look at that. Is that my hand that touched that? I guess it's just going to be black anyway, but what the heck? What the heck, man? I mean, it is a very thin line. It is good I'm doing this first. But yeah, I really loved Inner Space, which is a weird and silly movie. Joe Dante. And did he do The Howling? I think he did. He did Matinee, which is only okay. That was in my Laserdisc era. I bought that on Laserdisc. And I did not see it in the theater. Did you get any drink at Starbucks today with the menu change? I have no idea, Cirque, what they did. I don't go to Starbucks. And Nikki doesn't really that much either. Although I think she goes with her mom and gets something when they go on Fridays sometimes. She gets like a matcha thing, but she mostly was like a, when she worked over here in Woodland Hills, she would go to Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. And when I worked, goodness gracious, that was a long time ago. When I worked out of college at an architectural office, I would go to the Starbucks downstairs, and it was okay. I mostly got tea and things I can't get nowadays. I don't remember what I used to get. Like I had some sort of treat. Maybe it was a cookie that I liked getting. Nikki likes scones. Although I don't know if she likes Starbucks scones. She used to get scones when she was at Art Center. And she said they were amazing. So she's on the hunt. She's been on the hunt for those for 25 years. I do think it's funny that he's going to have this red here, so he's going to be kind of Christmas elfy. Ah, the Christmas menu, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I was going to Starbucks, so I was dating a girl when I was in college who was from Seattle. And so I remember her being excited that they were bringing Starbucks down here. After college, she moved back up there. But I just was never a coffee guy. So I tried when I was working at another architectural office, kind of when I was in school. I was when I was in school. I was like, oh, I'm up early. I'll try drinking coffee. And I was like, ugh, not my thing. Green pants with black boots. Okay. I think that's what we're going with. I mean, that's what I'm going with here. I don't care. I mean, there's been plenty of these characters in these that I painted. They've done things like that where the boots are the same color as kind of the rest of the stuff. I'm like, well, that's kind of boring. What time is it? 7:20. Okay. Got a little bit more time. I do wish I had like so I have a digital character almanac from Marvel. I wish I had one. How much red is there on here? Good amount. I wish I had one for the DC stuff, because I don't know all these characters for sure. Let's see if this dried. Nope. But sometimes it does that quickly. Oh my gosh. Oh, darn it. I'm supposed to write them. Damn it. Do that right now. I don't know how to copy this. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at this for now. But at least I got it started. Sorry there. Okay. Ugh, didn't get his thigh. I think I got distracted with painting the soles of his boots. Hey, Tiny Big Wars, how you doing? I need to see the Robin logo. I think it's, I can't remember. Okay. Boxer briefs these days are, instead of Speedos, yeah, it's definitely what's going on here. Ugh. Got it on that belt and I want that yellow. Probably gonna need to paint those white because it seems like a tiny bit of red's getting on there. Yellow collar. what is going on in his, like an undershirt here. Crazy. Oh, I just put some on the damned R. And I know it's not red. Switch to how much of the Marvel United have you done? Are you done with? I've done most of only the first wave, and then several bits of the other series, and then you can use it like the mouse function. Oh, but that's the. Are you talking about the way the Switch 2 has the? You put the controller on its edge, and you can use it as a mouse. That's cool. I did not buy one of those. I bought the Switch originally, and I did not use it that much. We did play, Nikki and I played some stuff with our friends during the pandemic. That was fun. So we did do some, but not enough. We played Overcooked and some other stuff. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, I'm happy to be working on these just as a different thing. The next stuff I'm going to do is some stuff that Atomic Mass sent over, and unfortunately, it's more Marvel in that regard, but I am eager to try to do some of them. I probably will buy some of the Shatterpoint stuff. I'd like to get the Inquisitors. I think those would be awesome to paint. I was talking about how I watched Wapelius paint them with oil paints, and it was phenomenal. He's so talented. I have not seen a stream for a long time, but I am also not on Twitch as much as I used to be. As far as watching stuff in the evenings. I think I just painted that, and it should be yellow. I have to let that dry. Yeah, I like Civilization for Switch. I had that game forever, but kind of annoying with no mouse. That makes sense. I mean, I was watching somebody play. So we really liked on the PS3. Nikki and I had a great time playing Pixel Junk Monsters. And we played it on the PS3, and I have played it on, later on it came out on the, that's not good. Later on it came out on PC, and I watched somebody recently, because Nikki and I were just playing it again. Play it on a level that we just could not figure out, which we had done before. We've actually rainbowed the whole game. We couldn't remember what we had to do, and so I watched the video, and the guy was doing it with a mouse, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome. I would like to play that more with a mouse, but it's not as much fun. The cool thing about that game was it was a couch co-op game where we'd both play the same at the same time on the same level, and it was a tower defense game, so we had a great time keeping it, upgrading the towers, building new ones, and whatever. It was really awesome, really fun. We had a good time playing it recently. We generally do that stuff around Christmas time, like when we have a little more free time. We also play StarCraft and Age of Empires, Age of Kings, and all those, whatever. I don't think we've ever played the newest one. It was on sale recently. I almost bought it. But it would be fun. I mean, we have fun doing that stuff. We used to play with Daryl, who's in the chat on YouTube. We used to play LAN gaming, and it was great. They were the ones that actually... I can't remember what happened. I think Daryl brought over Age of Kings, or Age of Empires, right before Age of Kings came out. And so we played that and had a great time, and got us into the real-time strategy stuff. Ooh, StarCraft. We'll see. I hope they do something. We did play StarCraft 2 and some of the... I think we played I think we own all... we had bought all three. Maybe. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I bought the God, what are they called? So we had, of course, the Zerg, and I think we bought all three of them. But those are like more than 10 years ago, right? Protoss, yeah. I always have Dan's name for the Protoss in my brain. Daryl, you were a Zerg player, right? Nikki's still massively a Zerg player. So we don't play that way, Tiny Big Wars. We don't play. We just play. Well, Nikki and I actually we used to play versus. We would be. It was we'd have like 6 people playing or whatever, and we would be playing team versus team, which was really fun. And then now Nikki and I just play against the AI because none of our friends are playing that stuff anymore, and we did do like a thing for Nikki's birthday. Good gosh, it was a while ago now. But my brother came, so yeah, that was before my brother was gone. My brother moved away a long time ago. But it was awesome because he even came over for it too. It was great. It was Nikki's birthday and she wanted to play. So everybody came over and we played the old school stuff. God, that was more than 10 years ago. We have a friend that works for Blizzard. I should write him and see how he's doing. We did not see him. I saw he was in Europe for Spiel, but since we didn't go. And the hilarious thing is he lives in this area and we only see him at cons. We've been to his place a couple times. But man, it's been at least 10 years since that. I can't remember who we were chatting with. at one of his events. Oh, I know who it was. Nice people. Who moved up north. I think they live in Seattle now too. Ugh, got it on. It dries so fast. So there's like a little outline of the pool where I hit it. And I don't want to be too rough because it'll mess up the primer. That mostly got it. Wow, 65% is huge. Daryl's dual chatting. I'm too old for actions per minute now. No kidding. You have a Warhammer one now? Ugh. They do some weird stuff with their hair on these models. Did I just smear it on his face? Oh my gosh. How did I do that? Good gosh, I got it all over the place. At least the cape's gonna be black, but his face shouldn't be coal black. I was so happy with how I was doing this, I just messed it up. Ugh. What is focusing on here? But I'm like several hundred, 150 of these minis so far at least that I've painted, I think. It's crazy. So, Mr. 3D Print Wizard, I saw the gold. I was at Spiel last year for the Golden Demon. I did not looked at them this year, but we were there last year for the awards, and we weren't there for the ceremony. But it's unreal. It's unreal how great they are. So Nikki and I went 22 years ago, I think, to a Games Day. They used to have Games Days here in the U.S., and they would have a Golden Demon competition at each one of them. And they were great, but man, they were nothing like this. Just phenomenal. Wow, I'm going to need more of the black here. Not quite yet. I mean, this is my first bottle of it, so it's lasted forever. 6 years now. A lot of metallic metals. I've done some. I'm okay at it. What I would like to get better at is wet blending, which is, you know, one of the things you would do non-metallic metals. I was thinking 40K Tacticus. Turn-based, interesting. Ugh, the bubbles on this. I wonder if it's the medium. Oh, no, that was the other paint. So on the red one that I was having this kind of trouble with, it was the Army Painter. Now it could be the medium on this. sorry, you can't see that. I almost feel like it needs a little bit of distilled water or something, maybe. I really should get rid of this bottle of contrast medium. It's only okay at this point. It's 8 o'clock. I should stop, but let me finish this cape. What is focusing here? I guess it's just because it's so shiny. It's not really shiny, but shiny-ish. Touching something I've already painted, not good. That's still dry, wet-ish. Okay, so let's try to do this edge. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll do another coat, but it's gonna be black. Aye. Is that black paint? Nope. Okay, well that's good. I'll touch up the do the little bits around his collar, and then collar it a night. With some edge highlighting, yeah, I understand that. I tend to, I mean, this is why I like to do these undercoated paints, so that you don't have to do a ton of blending. I mean, I still do some sometimes. It just depends on what I'm working on. Okay. Wow. BRB Tabletop. Thanks for rating, everybody. It's very loud. I'm actually about wrapping it up here. Is that B&B Tabletop? Okay. I have been painting the Superman Controlled and the Tim Drake Robin here tonight from DC United, DC Superheroes United, which is the latest in these United games from Simon. This one's pretty cool. Not totally blown away. Let's see, where's Superman? He was what I was working on earlier. He turned out pretty good. I'm still not blown away with his face. And I might work on that. Do some blending. Give him some more highlights on his cheeks. But it looks good. Oh, and the base is dry, so I need to do another coat of what I'm painting now, but I'll save it for something else. I'll save it for another time. I really want to do the yellow on here just to really pop this stuff, but so I guess that's a yellow collar. It's weird. So maybe it's like a, I don't know, polo shirt. It seems strange, but he doesn't have a button. I see a little bit of not red. Oops, sorry, I wasn't in the shot. Yeah, it doesn't, this, where I started out is not smooth. It's okay over here. I'm not too worried about it, though. I'll probably, I don't know, I mean, it's such a challenge to really pick out, like, what's best for it. So one of the things, although you were saying Mr. 3D Paint Wizard, edge highlighting, one of the things I like to do when I'm painting these is I will sometimes go in with the white before I paint the paint, and then I basically have the beginning of the edge highlight. I did some of that on Hush, and then when I went over with the contrast paint, it gave it a pretty cool look. So yeah, I'm close now. I have to finish Robin, and then I did Hush and Batman and the Joker. There's only 8 minis in this set, which is kind of a bummer. And I got Huntress. I'm really happy with her face. And I have Harley Quinn, which she's pretty cool too. I saw somebody on the Reddit one had one that painted pretty similar to this one. Look, I mean, you know, we're following the Big Child Creatives, so I thought it was pretty good. And so the only one I have to paint left is Catwoman. Obviously I painted her skin tone. It does not look great, although it may be just fine. I'll probably just go with it, but This one's going to be a different, you know, because it's mostly black. So I'll be doing some gray highlights and stuff like that. Inside the cape is a different color. Yes, it is yellow. And so I will do that. It won't be super great looking because it's mostly dark under there. And so it'll be the yellow on his belt, on these fasteners on his breast, although it's not centered. It's pretty terribly done there. And then, because there's a lot more over here on this side. And then the yellow on his collar and a little bit of his shirt. And then probably some work on the mask. I mean, I've got like a big, thick bit of green there that I might cut back and try to retouch up. But it looks good. It looks pretty good anyway. There is some issues. I did get black paint on the... I might actually try to smooth out this mold line that I never even noticed. I'm pretty disappointed in that. And then touch up that little bit of black that I got on there. And then do something... I might just paint it metallic. I do not know. Anyway, let's see if there's... The music stopped. Let's see if there is something we can... Somebody we can raid. Let's see here. I don't feel I have this camera in the right spot. I don't know what's happened. And maybe it's just tilted. That's probably what's going on. I probably need to tilt it inward. So let's go to Twitch and see if anybody's out there. I don't like that it doesn't let you get to the stream manager directly. There's usually, lately there's just not as many streamers. Let's check in with Bored at Home. They're playing some flip tunes. I don't know that one. So, people on Twitch, if there's some folks out there, if you'd like to join in on the raid, say hello for me. I do not know this game. So go ahead and click on through if you'd like to go. I don't know if there were how many people we had on Twitch today. We seem to have a little bit more chat going on YouTube. But thank you so much for joining me, and thanks for the folks that followed and everybody that was doing the chat. It was fantastic. It was really good to some fun retrospective discussions for sure. Everybody have a great one, and I will talk to you later. I'll be back on Tuesday. And YouTube folks, thank you so much. It was really good to see everybody here, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And everybody take care.